So, what's going on YouTube? So, I've been having a hell of a day, goodness be. But nevertheless, so early this morning, I had a chance to watch the first episode of Loki. And I'm not gonna lie, so Loki, it picks up right where we left off with Loki, I think in Avengers Endgame, right? He does something different in terms of the timeline that we know of. He takes the Tesseract and he disappears, and then he wakes up in a desert in Mongolia. And by the way, there were some sand dunes that were so clearly were CGI, Jesus Christ. But and then this one chick from HBO's Lovecraft Country comes in, and she does some crazy time shit, right? Like she fucking hits Loki and he's like moving in slow motion, but everything else is moving in real time, you know what I mean? And then basically Loki's sent to like a time prison, and he learns that his actions have made him a time variant. So basically he's done something in his timeline that's a big no-no. Apparently there's like these overseers that oversee all of time. And basically each timeline has to flow in a certain way, and basically Loki has disrupted that flow. So this is sort of where the girl from Lovecraft Country, this is where she comes in. This is where Owen Wilson comes in to sort of like poke and prod at him, and they strip him naked, which was interesting. And they put him in a prison suit. They strip him of his powers, and basically they need to work with him to fix his mistakes. But come to find out later on in the episode, apparently the Loki that we know of, they need his help to stop like another version of Loki or something like that. Like there's this moment in 1898 towards the end of this episode where I was like, what the fuck? But so yeah, all of the time variant stuff is pretty dope. It's actually kind of trippy as well. I love this. Well, first off, Owen Wilson is awesome, okay, as one of these time-keeping people, you know. Owen Wilson is fan-fucking-tastic, okay? He's actually acting his ass off, and his character is so fascinating. He kind of I don't know how many of you guys have seen Lost from ABC, but he kind of reminds me of like a likable Benjamin Linus, if you will. Hold on, let me see if I can open up these windows real quick. There we go. Let some air in here. But yeah, he's kind of like a likable Benjamin Linus, like he's one of the others, you know. And there's just so many great moments with him, like when Owen Wilson is showing a video feed of like, you know, Loki's life, or like events that haven't even happened yet in Loki's life. There's a great moment where we watch a cartoon montage that sort of explains what it means to be a time variant, and why all the timelines have to flow in a certain way, which was fantastic. The art style kind of looked like something out of the Jetsons or something like that, so that was cool. A lot of the action sequences, like Loki every time Loki's trying to run away from guards, or when Loki gets away, and he's even able to take off his collar and like teleport around. Some of the physics behind these time effects is pretty trippy. It's pretty trippy, not gonna lie to you. I really loved one moment where Owen Wilson and Loki are staring out at this cityscape that looked like something straight out of the Fifth Element or something like that. I also liked the moments where Owen Wilson is questioning Loki. And there's even a moment where Loki, he watches his brother die. He watches himself die at the hands of Thanos. So there's some trippy, really intriguing, time-bending shit going on that I think is great. What else can I really say? There's definitely some like cheesy moments, like, you know, during the desert moment in Mongolia when Loki first wakes up. Some of his exchanges with characters, there's definitely some cheesiness there, and a lot of the comedy is pretty hokey, pretty cheesy. But I feel like when Owen Wilson comes in, like, I think we first meet him like in the 1500s or something like that, in like a castle, and he's like talking to this boy. It becomes fascinating from that point on, and I definitely have a lot of questions. Like, we need present day Loki to help stop some other timeline Loki, I think, ? So there's some brilliant head scratching stuff going on. The episode was entertaining. The episode was entertaining. There's definitely some fun brain teasers, and there's certainly some questions left on the floor from this whole time variant thing that I'm very curious what the answers are. But I don't know. I guess I wasn't blown out of the water. I wasn't like completely mind blown. I wasn't like really emotionally impacted. It was just light, fluffy, fun, brain teasing fun for about 50 minutes. It was a quick 50 minutes. I'll give them that. I mean, personally, I'm feeling like an 8. Feeling like an 8 out of 10. It was good. I feel like the highlights of the episode is like whenever Owen Wilson is on screen, or whenever Owen Wilson and Loki are conversing. A lot of you guys know Loki. Well, when it comes to the MCU, Loki is probably my least favorite character. I thought he was a weak, non-intimidating, almost dismissible villain in the 2012 Avengers film. I know a lot of females and others love to swoon over Tom Hiddleston, but that effect doesn't apply to me. I like the actor. I think he's cool. It's just that in MCU, his character, it's just kind of whatever for me. Like, literally, if when he died in Infinity War, if we never saw Loki again in the MCU, I'd be like, okay. So hopefully this season does something to make me care about Loki or be more invested in Loki. That would be great. None of that really happened in this episode, but I to some extent, Loki, he was definitely enduring, and it was intriguing seeing Loki trying to resist Owen Wilson, and then finally he becomes vulnerable and opens up to Owen Wilson. You know, the I am blessed with, what does he say? Glorious purpose, the god of mischief, right? So, I know that Loki is one of the most popular characters in MCU, and his powers of persuasion have definitely worked on a lot of people, but it hasn't worked on me yet. So hopefully that changes. But there's definitely a lot of promise here, because I love time travel stuff, or like time manipulation stuff, and this is pretty apparent that this season is going to dive full into that with some trippy madness. It's also curious that like these timekeepers, these time variant security people, it's interesting that like they're suggesting that like if they don't fix Loki's mistake or any similar mistakes, the multiverse will happen, or like these messed up multiverse effects will happen, and we all know that there's going to be a bunch of multiverse madness with the new Spider-Man film, and especially with Sam Raimi's Doctor Strange film. So I'm curious where the show is going to go. I think this is an 8 out of 10. It's about an 8 out of 10 episode. I think it's a great time. I'm not fully invested just yet. Not exactly blown the fuck away, but it's a hell of a good time for sure.